Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Babylon 5. It's time to officially start the series. It's time for, I can't remember what the title is, I just shut my laptop. Midnight, something like that. I think I may have just made that up. But it's episode 1 of series 1. If you are new here, which I'm sure a lot of you are, my name is Marie-Clare and I am obviously embarking on my Babylon 5 a journey. I've done the gathering and I had a really great time. Now, obviously, I've been informed that that was just the pilot and things are going to be a bit different in the series, which is absolutely fine. I think I just wanted to just get a feel of what I could potentially expect. I don't know the difference between, like the movie, was it 93? And then I don't know when this series was in comparison. I don't know if we have any of the same characters. I don't know if we're on the same, like if the station looks the same. So I'm intrigued. I am very, very nervous about starting this show. I know I keep saying it. I ended up putting The Gathering out earlier than anticipated because I was just a bit petrified. So at this point, I mean, oh my gosh, this is the first day on Patreon. This is my first reaction of December, of my 31 uploads in 31 days in December. So welcome to what could potentially be pure mayhem. So yeah, at the moment, obviously you've only had The Gathering, and by the time this goes out on YouTube, there will be a few out on Patreon, so I should be starting to find my feet. The full lengths are over on Patreon, as I've just said. You can find them on the Eccleston tier if you're interested. And I'm nervous. Let's go. I don't know. I don't know if I want it to be the same as the part. Like, do I want the same cast? I would assume there would be some of the same cast. I'd be shocked if we didn't have some of the same characters, but I don't know. I guess that's up to the producers and the writers. Let's go.
Jump point forming in sector 3.
Ooh.
Activating mines. Notify Centauri Prime.
I don't think we'll be starting with a battle.
Tell them it's stuck.
Okay, the ship looks the same.
In that case, he's in the observation dome.
How do you know?
Oh, right. You're new here. He only turns off his link for 10 minutes a day. And when he does, that's where you can find him.
All I'm asking is that you trust me.
Trust you. Londo, my brain will be 5 days dead before I ever trust a Centaurian.
Mr. Garibaldi, have you met my diplomatic staff? Just arrived from the home world. This is it.
Ambassador,
Yes, dear, what is it?
our colony, Ragesh 3, our agricultural colony,
Yes, I know what it is. What about it?
it's under attack.
God, guys, this is a bit Star Warsy. Or is that an insult?
Dawn of the third age of mankind. 10 years after the Earth-Minbari War.
We don't know anything more than you do. We know it's been attacked, but that's all.
What have you heard from Centauri Prime?
Nothing. I sent 3 messages. No answer. No one is talking.
Ambassador, I just heard.
Yes, you have my sincerest condolences for your losses.
You know nothing about this attack, Shakar?
I'm as astonished as you are.
Lieutenant Commander Ivanova.
Yes.
Talia Winters, licensed commercial telepath, Psycho rating P5. I was assigned to Babylon 5 a few weeks ago.
Two fighter jets stand by for launch. I want those ships prepped and ready to go.
Psycho regulations require me to log in with the second in command. I've tried to reach you 3 times, but I guess you've been busy. I figured I'd try the direct approach.
Your diligence is commendable. Anything else?
I don't know why I didn't think, whoa. I didn't think we'd be
In other news, the race between
going out in like
First Alliance
spaceships
President
and
Santiago
helping other planets and
Marie-Clare
spacecrafts and stuff.
Notify Centauri Prime. Who would do this? Why?
Yeah, why?
Tell them it's stuck. That is a non-heavy fighter. That bastard Shakar, he said he knew nothing of this. You won't get away with this. We'll strike back, and we'll strike back hard.
I assume you're referring to the attack on Ragesh 3 by our forces. Just found out about it myself. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
What reasonable explanation is there for the slaughter of unarmed civilians?
Curious, we wondered the same thing when you invaded our world. The wheel turns, does it not, Ambassador?
Listen to me, Ambassador. Your time is coming on. It's our turn now. One night you'll wake up and find our teeth at your throat. Sleep well, Ambassador. Sleep lightly.
I will kill him, though. Sooner or later. Somewhere.
Ambassador.
My people.
I guess on Babylon 5 you can't, because it's a neutral ground, I assume there's no like fighting or anything allowed. Killing.
We are going to die. Comes in a dream, huh? 20 years from now, one of us will be wiser and older. Or one of us will be dead. Who's to say? Me, I need another drink. Khan is my nephew. He wanted to enter the Centauri military. I told him it was a waste of his skills. So I personally arranged for him to have a higher position as head researcher on Ragesh 3. If Khan is dead, there will be war. Today, tomorrow, the day after, it doesn't matter. If it's the last thing I do, if it's the last breath I take, there will be war.
We're in the garden.
I see we have similar habits. Before going into battle, I also need to walk in the green for a moment. We've recently managed to restore a few forests on my world. It was all
Is that in the background? Is that the rest of the
before the Centauri
station?
landed there.
You know what we learned from it? That the sneak attack is the first resort of a coward.
Just a minute.
You didn't even have the decency to pick a military target, a poorly armed civilian colony. What a challenge that must have been to the great Narn military.
I feel like we've had, obviously I know the pilot was just a pilot, but I feel like the commander stepped up a notch with his commanderness.
You've exceeded your authority. If we don't stop the Narn aggression, they'll just keep coming. The only way to do that is to get the council to authorize military intervention.
Music. So I assume that takes them to a different place in the universe.
We are convened to vote on sanctions against the Narn regime.
We recognize the prior claim, but the reality is that Ragesh 3 has been Centauri property for over a century. To start a war over blood spilled so long ago, where does it end?
Our forces came for the peaceful liberation of Ragesh 3. We did not fire first, and I can prove it. I direct your attention to the monitors.
I am head researcher and project director for the Ragesh 3 agricultural colony.
The nephew, I would add, of our own esteemed ambassador, Lando Molari.
In the last 6 months, there have been violent outbreaks created by division among our many colonists.
No, look how uncomfortable he looks.
We asked for help
He's being
from
threatened.
Centauri crime.
Come on, he was very clearly reading from something.
Don't you understand? Can't you see what they're trying to do? They forced him to read that statement. I'm sure they threatened to kill it. It's a lie.
If you want to talk about lies, Ambassador, what about your lie of omission?
Because you can't bring weapons onto Babylon 5, can you?
Oh, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
You have someplace special to go?
Mr. Garibaldi, get out of my way.
No, I can't do that.
You don't understand.
Yes, I do. I understand better than you'll ever know. I know it burns, Lando. I know the things it makes you want to do, but this isn't the way. Not now and not here.
He's my blood, my nephew.
But if you kill Jakar, none of those colonists will get out alive. You have to know that. Ambassador, In 1 hour, I'm going to have to check your quarters for weapons. Make sure I don't find anything.
Look how small those little spaceships are compared to Babylon 5.
I'm afraid there is, Ambassador. And I'm afraid it's you.
I keep wondering where the raiders were getting their heavy weapons. And I thought about our conversation. Narns will sell to anyone who can afford to pay. Just like they did during the war. Your government always provides an advisor to show how to operate the weapons.
They contain reports the captain here monitored between Ragesh 3 and Narn's Central Command.
They confirm everything Ambassador Malari said about the attack on the Centauri colony. That it was unprovoked. And that the invitation was made at the point of a gun. Now it seems to me that you have two choices. Tell your forces on Ragesh 3 to withdraw. Or we bring this evidence to the council.
I feel I should explain my behavior earlier. That was rude.
I just wanted to know if it was me.
My mother was like you. A telepath. None of us ever knew it was her secret since she was a girl. Were you raised by the Corps?
Here you go.
And you never had to make the choice. When they discover what you are, they give you three choices. You can either join the Psi Corps, or go to prison, or agree to take certain drugs for the rest of your life.
Unregistered telepaths have to be controlled in order to protect the privacy of others.
They caught up with my mother on her 35th birthday. She didn't want to join the Corps. Didn't want to go to prison. For 10 years, a man in a gray suit came to the door once a week. And he gave her the injections. Every day we just watched her drift further and further away from us. And when we thought she could go no further, she took her own life. What happened back then is not your fault. But it's part of what you are.
It's not the blonde lady's fault. People just don't like telepaths.
Only remaining source is on Planet X.
Commander, there's a problem.
Oh, great. Oh.
Commander?
Okay, so I do think it's going to take me a while to grasp characters and stuff. So please bear with me. So Jakar, Londo are enemies. Now I know it's just happened and I can't remember the people. The people that were attacking that space station, whatever it's called. Are they Jakar's people? That's the thing I'm trying to comprehend, like the name of the species. So we've got Jakar, we've got Londo. I remember Garibaldi. I can't remember the commander's name, but we've got Commander, so I can just call him Commander. The other lady was like Iv something. She's new. I'm sure she wasn't in the pilot. At the beginning, it said that we still had a doctor, so I could be the same person in the pilot. We had more characters carry over from the pilot than I expected. So I do have a few questions, and I'm sorry if it's been said, but I just need to grasp. So Earth is still Earth. Babylon 5 is like a neutral space so that all these different species can come and be together and potentially sort out their differences, right? Do you live on Babylon 5? And if so, are you living there because you've got nowhere else to go, or are you living there because you want to just live in a safe space? Again, if this is answered in a couple of episodes, don't worry. The ambassadors. So we've got the commander, Jakar, Londo, and that other creature's name, I call her the nice lady. So they're the ambassadors, representing their species? How come there's not more ambassadors? Again, if this is all answered later on, don't worry, but these are just the things coming out of my head at the moment. And I think if I'd have gone straight into episode 1, I'd have found it probably a bit much with all the politics and names and stuff. So I had a good time though, and I'm not being too harsh on myself. I just want to settle into the characters, settle into the environment, figure out what's going on. Garibaldi's my favourite at the moment, and then I feel like maybe in a couple of episodes' time I can really get stuck into it a bit more. I don't know. I think at the moment it's like learning something. That's how it feels. It feels like I'm just learning all of this information. And I did also think during that, 2 points. Number one, if I'd have seen this on TV, this would be something that I would immediately switch over from, because I would just assume it's not my thing, that's too sci-fi. I'm having a great time. The second thing is, I think we had some really nice vulnerable moments from Londo and the lady with the brown hair who was talking to the telepath. I think we had some really nice moments, and it's only episode 1. So that's great. I like that we've had a bit of the battle and a bit of the vulnerability and a bit of, you know, the fieriness between like Londo and Jakar. I think actually in 45 minutes they crammed in quite a lot. So I think in a few episodes' time, I'm sure I will be very, very invested in characters. And I'm sure maybe at some point they're going to rip my heart out, because that's just what TV shows do. But I know that lots of you will be relieved that I'm having a good time. And of course, I am committing to Babylon 5. So yeah, if you're able to answer any of my questions, please do. If they are spoilers, please don't answer them. And I really hope you enjoyed. Those of you on Patreon, you'll get an episode 2 maybe in a week's time. And those of you on YouTube, I will see you very, very soon.